You walked into the room, and nothing changed. No one turned, no one paused. The conversations kept flowing right past you, like water around a stone. You found a place to stand, and you stood there, present, breathing, there, and somehow still invisible. Maybe you said something, and the words just dissolved. A second later, someone spoke louder, and the room turned to them instead. And you felt that old, quiet ache settle into your chest. The ache of being overlooked, of being in the room, but never truly seen. If you know that feeling, the invisibility, the sense that you don't take up space the way other men seem to, then stay with me. Because almost everything you've been told about fixing it is wrong. Sit with me in the silence for a moment. You've been taught that to be noticed, you have to be louder, funnier, more impressive, that you have to perform your way into respect. But the most magnetic men who ever lived, the ones people leaned toward, listened to, remembered, were almost never the loudest men in the room. They were the stillest. 2,000 years ago, the Stoics understood something the modern world has forgotten. Real magnetism is not something you perform on the outside. It is something you build on the inside. It is the quiet gravity of a man who has mastered himself. Before we begin, if you've ever felt invisible in a room full of people, type one word in the comments: seen. Let's find out how many of us are out here. I have a feeling it's more than you think. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you 8 Stoic habits that change the way people feel when you walk in. Not tricks, not performance. Habits that rebuild you from the inside until being ignored simply stops happening. The 8th one is the habit almost no one has the discipline for, and it's the most powerful of them all. So stay with me until the end. Let's begin. The first habit is the foundation of all the others. Master your reactions. Picture 2 men facing the exact same insult. The first one flinches. His face flushes. His voice climbs. He fires back. And in that instant, everyone watching learns something about him. He can be moved. He can be controlled. Anyone with a sharp word now holds a lever to his emotions. The second man simply pauses. He breathes. He looks at the person, unbothered, and responds, or doesn't entirely on his own terms. And everyone watching learns something very different about him. Nothing out there controls what happens in here. Which man do you find more magnetic? You already know. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who could have had anything, wrote this to himself in his private journal. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Here is what almost no one understands. Your calm is not just a mood, it is a signal. When you don't flinch, when you don't rush to defend yourself, when the room gets tense and you stay level, people read that instantly, on a level beneath words. They read it as depth, as power, as a man who cannot be knocked off his center. Think of a deep lake. Throw a stone into a shallow puddle, and it splashes everywhere, loud, reactive, chaotic. Throw that same stone into a deep lake, and it vanishes with barely a ripple. The depth simply absorbs it. That is what you are building, depth that swallows whatever the world throws. Let me make this real. You're in a meeting or a group, and someone throws a small dig your way, a challenge, a test, something designed to get under your skin. Every eye flicks to you, waiting to see what you'll do. This is the moment. Snap, and you hand them your power. But pause one full breath and answer slowly from your center, and the whole room recalibrates. In that silence, you just became the most powerful person present. So, here is your practice. The next time something provokes you, do one thing before you respond. Take a single, slow breath. That breath is the space between what happened and what you do about it. And in that space lies everything: your dignity, your control, your magnetism. Master the pause, and you begin to master the room. The second habit: speak less and mean more. There's a reason you feel unseen when you talk, and it's not the reason you think. It's not that your voice is too quiet. It's that in a world where everyone is talking constantly, loudly, over each other, words have become cheap, and cheap things get ignored. The Stoics lived by a principle, Zeno of Citium, put simply, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say. Epictetus went further. He told his students to stay silent for long stretches, to speak only when it added more than the silence did. Here is the secret the magnetic man understands. The less you say, the more each word is worth. When you stop competing to be heard and speak only when you have something real to say, people start to lean in. Your words stop being noise and start being events. Think of a single bell struck in a silent hall, one clear note, and everyone stops. Now imagine that same bell rung over and over, frantically, all day long. Within an hour, no one even hears it. Most men are ringing the bell all day. Be the man who strikes it once, deliberately, and lets it echo. Real scenario. You're in a group, and everyone's talking over each other, fighting for airtime. Don't join the scramble. Listen fully, calmly. Let them empty themselves. Then, when there's a pause, say one measured thing. Watch what happens. The room turns. Because you were the only one who wasn't desperate to be heard, and that composure is magnetic. Your practice, in your next conversation, cut your word count in half. Listen until the other person is completely finished. Don't reload your reply while they talk. Actually listen. Then speak once and mean it. A man who doesn't waste his words is a man who seems to have depth behind them, and people are always drawn to depth. The third habit, hold your standards even when it costs you. Here's a truth that will sting a little. Part of the reason you sometimes feel unseen is that somewhere along the way you started bending, saying yes when you meant no, laughing at things you didn't find funny, shrinking yourself to keep the peace, to be liked, to not be a problem. And people can feel that. A man who abandons himself to be accepted is, paradoxically, a man no one truly respects, including himself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never esteem anything as of advantage to you that will make you break your word or lose your self-respect." Read that again. He's saying, nothing, no approval, no opportunity, no relationship, is worth the price of your own self-respect. Because self-respect is not invisible, it radiates. The man who holds his standards, calmly and without apology, tells the world in a language older than words, "I know my worth, and it is not up for negotiation." And there is almost nothing more magnetic than that. Picture a mountain in a storm. The wind screams, the rain lashes. Everything that can move is moving, and the mountain simply does not care. It was here before the storm, and it will be here after. That is a man with standards. The pressure comes, and he does not move. Real scenario. Someone pressures you to drink when you don't want to gossip, to say yes to a favor that violates something in you. The easy path is to fold and be easygoing, but try this instead, calmly, without a speech, without anger. You say, no. No justification, no apology, just a quiet, settled no. Watch how people recalibrate around you. Respect doesn't go down when you hold a boundary, it goes up. Your practice. Name one standard you keep betraying to be liked. Just one. This week, hold it once calmly, without over-explaining. Feel what it does to how you carry yourself. The world does not respect the man who is available for anything. It respects the man who is anchored to something. The fourth habit, become unshakably present. We live in the most distracted era in human history. Everyone's half here, eyes flicking to a phone mid-sentence, minds 3 notifications away. And this is your enormous hidden advantage. Because in a world of half-present people, the man who gives his full attention becomes unforgettable. The Stoics trained this relentlessly. Marcus reminded himself again and again, confine yourself to the present. Not lost in what was said yesterday, not rehearsing what to say next. Here, fully here. Here's why it makes you magnetic. When you give someone your complete, undivided presence, real eye contact, no phone, no distraction, actually listening, you give them something they almost never receive, the feeling of mattering. And people become deeply, quietly attached to whoever makes them feel that. They may not even know why, they'll just know that being around you feels different, feels rare. Think of a single candle flame in a still room, steady, unwavering, drawing every eye. Now think of a flame in the wind, flickering everywhere, hard to look at. Most people's attention is a flame in the wind. Be the steady flame. Real scenario. You're talking with someone, and everyone else in the group is glancing at their phones. You put yours away, completely away, and you give this one person your full gaze and your full mind. They feel it immediately. Long after they've forgotten what was said, they'll remember how it felt to have your undivided attention. That's the imprint you leave. Your practice, in your very next conversation, phone out of sight, out of reach. Hold eye contact. Listen, as if there will be a test on their exact words. Presence is a muscle, and almost no one is training it, which is exactly why yours will stand out. And if this is landing, if you're starting to see that being ignored was never about not being enough, but about signals you were never taught to send, the next 4 habits are where it gets powerful. Habit 8 especially. Stay with me. The 5th habit, master your desires, especially your hunger for approval. Here is one of the most counterintuitive laws of human attraction. The more you need people to like you, the less they do. Neediness has a scent. When you walk into a room silently begging to be accepted, laughing too hard, agreeing too fast, chasing every bit of validation, people feel it and they pull away. But the man who genuinely needs nothing from the room, he becomes the center of it. Epictetus, born a slave and freer than most emperors, taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. And it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Apply that to approval, and you unlock something powerful. The man who has mastered his craving for validation is complete on his own. He can take you or leave you, and that self-sufficiency is magnetic, precisely because it's so rare. He's not performing for the room, so the room performs for him. Picture a tree standing full and rooted in an open field. It needs nothing, it leans on nothing, it simply is. Now picture a vine, clinging to whatever it can reach, unable to stand on its own. Neediness is the vine. Self-mastery is the tree. People rest in the shade of the tree, they trip over the vine. Real scenario, you're in a group, and part of you wants to chase their approval, to fish for the laugh, the agreement, the nod. Instead, try this. Want nothing from them. Show up, be warm, contribute, but need no reaction back. Give, without collecting. Paradoxically, the moment you stop needing their approval is the moment you start to earn it. Your practice, for one full day, want nothing from anyone. Speak without needing agreement. Help without needing thanks. Feel how much lighter and how much more powerful you become when your center of gravity moves back inside you, where it belongs. A man who needs the room will always be its servant. A man who needs nothing becomes its center. The 6th habit, build in silence. Most men announce. They tell everyone the plan, the goal, the diet, the business, the transformation coming any day now. And here's the trap. Talking about it gives your brain the same little hit of satisfaction as doing it. So the talking quietly drains the doing. Worse, it makes you common. Everyone talks. Almost no one delivers. Epictetus cut straight to it. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Don't tell people who you're becoming. Become it quietly and let them discover the finished work. There is a deep magnetism in mystery. The man who is clearly building something but doesn't broadcast it pulls people in. They sense motion beneath the surface. They feel there's more to him than he's showing, and that unknown is compelling in a way that a loud, fully explained man never is. Think of a tree's roots. For a long season, nothing shows above ground, no leaves, no height, nothing to post about. All the real work is happening in the dark, unseen. And then one day the tree towers over everything around it, and everyone wonders where it came from. It came from the silent season no one watched. Real scenario: you decide to change your body, your discipline, your work. The urge is to tell everyone, to post it, to collect encouragement. Resist, say nothing. Just show up, every day, in silence. 3 months from now, people will look at you and feel that something shifted, and that quiet, undeniable transformation speaks louder than any announcement ever could. Your practice: pick one goal, tell no one. Work on it in silence for 30 days and let the results introduce themselves. Let them wonder, let the change do the talking. The loud man is forgotten by evening. The man who built in silence is impossible to ignore. The 7th habit: carry yourself with quiet dignity. Before you say a single word, you've already spoken. The way you enter a room, the speed of your movements, whether you stand tall or fold inward, whether you rush or move with unhurried calm, people read all of it in the first few seconds, and they've half decided how to treat you before you open your mouth. The Stoics understood that the outer and inner man mirror each other. Marcus instructed himself on how to hold his body, his face, his bearing, not for vanity, but because dignity practiced on the outside strengthens the man on the inside. Epictetus told his students to conduct yourself in all matters as if you were a person of great worth, because how you carry yourself trains how you feel and broadcasts how you expect to be treated. Here's the mechanism. A man who rushes, hunches, fidgets, and shrinks tells the world, "I'm anxious, I'm uncertain, treat me accordingly." A man who moves slowly, stands upright, and takes up his space without apology tells the world, "I am at ease, I am grounded, I belong here." The world simply believes what your body tells it. Picture a marble statue standing tall in a great hall, unhurried, composed, utterly at ease in its own space. It isn't performing, it isn't tense. It simply occupies its place with total calm. That is the bearing you're building. Real scenario: you walk into a room where you feel small, a new job, a gathering of strangers, a place you feel you don't belong. Every instinct says, shrink, rush, apologize for existing. Do the opposite. Slow down, straighten your spine, unclench your jaw. Move like a man who has nowhere he urgently needs to be. Within seconds, the room reads you differently because you are carrying yourself differently. Your practice: today, slow, every movement by 20%. Stand tall. Walk like you're not in a hurry. Let your body tell the world the truth you're building toward, that you are a man of worth. Dignity isn't loud, but it's seen from across any room. And the 8th habit, the one almost no one has the discipline for, and the most powerful of them all: become untouchable. Let insult and disrespect simply pass through you. Think about what happens when someone insults a normal man. He reacts, defends, argues, seethes for hours. And in reacting, he reveals the truth. The insult landed. It found a handle. It moved him. The man who can be provoked can be controlled, and everyone senses it. Now picture the man nothing sticks to. You insult him, and he smiles, shrugs, genuinely unbothered, not suppressing rage, but simply unmoved, because your opinion of him has no vote in how he sees himself. That man is terrifying in the best way. He is untouchable, and untouchable is the highest form of magnetic, because it looks like a kind of freedom everyone secretly wants. Marcus Aurelius, who was mocked and betrayed as emperor, wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." And Epictetus offered the perfect blade. If evil be said of you, And if it be true, correct yourself. If it be a lie, laugh at it. Picture an arrow striking marble. It doesn't pierce, doesn't wound it, simply glances off and clatters to the floor, and the marble stands exactly as it was. That is what an insult should be to you, an arrow against stone. Or think of water poured over marble, it runs right off, leaving no mark. Let disrespect run off you, like water off stone. Real scenario: someone insults or dismisses you, maybe in front of others, hoping to see you shrink or explode. Everyone's watching for your reaction. Give them the one they never expect. Calm, a small, unbothered smile, silence, or a single light response. And you move on as if nothing touched you, because nothing did. In that moment, you win completely, and they are the one who looks small. Your practice. The next time someone tries to provoke you, refuse to be moved. Do not defend. Do not explain. Do not seethe. A calm smile. A slow breath. Let it glance off the marble. Each time you do this, you become a little more untouchable. And a man nothing can shake is a man the whole world quietly respects. So, let's gather what you now hold. 8 habits, not tricks, not performances, but a way of being. Master your reactions. Speak less and mean more. Hold your standards. Become unshakably present. Master your desires. Build in silence. Carry yourself with dignity, and become untouchable. Notice what every one of these has in common. Not one of them is about changing other people. Not one is about performing or impressing or chasing. Every single one is about mastering yourself, because that is the secret the Stoics understood 2,000 years ago and the modern world forgot. You do not become magnetic by reaching outward for attention. You become magnetic by turning inward and building a self so grounded that attention comes to you. The man who walked into that room and felt invisible, he wasn't lacking volume. He was lacking himself. And that is the one thing you can actually build. Starting today. Starting with one habit. You will not master all 8 at once. Don't try. Choose one, the one that hit you hardest, and live it this week. Then another. Brick by brick. In silence, you become a man people cannot ignore. You were never meant to shrink to fit the room. You were meant to become the kind of man the room quietly arranges itself around. Thank you for sitting with me in the silence. If this gave you something, subscribe and walk this path with me one lesson at a time. Until next time, stay unshaken.